Muammar Gaddafi, born on June 7, 1942, in Qasr Abu Hadi, Libya, was a controversial and influential figure in Libyan and global politics. He ruled Libya for over 4 decades, from 1969 until his overthrow and death in 2011. Gaddafi's reign was marked by a combination of political repression, economic policies, and grandiose ambitions that left a lasting impact on his country and the international community. Gaddafi came to power in a bloodless coup d'état in 1969 when he was just 27 years old. At the time, Libya was under the rule of King Idris, whose regime was perceived as corrupt and subservient to foreign powers. Gaddafi's rise to power promised a new era for Libya, one that emphasized Arab nationalism, socialism, and a rejection of Western influence. During his early years in power, Gaddafi implemented sweeping changes, nationalizing foreign-owned oil companies, redistributing land, and promoting social and economic reforms. He also embarked on an ambitious project called the Green Revolution, which aimed to establish a direct form of democracy through popular committees. However, over time, Gaddafi's rule became increasingly authoritarian, with limited political freedoms, widespread surveillance, and suppression of dissent. Internationally, Gaddafi positioned himself as a champion of anti-imperialism and Pan-Africanism. He advocated for the unity of African nations, and Libya played a significant role in supporting liberation movements across the continent. Gaddafi also sought to challenge Western dominance by promoting an alternative economic model known as the Third International Theory, which aimed to create a self-sufficient, socialist society free from capitalist exploitation. However, Gaddafi's international relations were marked by controversy. Libya was implicated in several terrorist attacks, including the bombing of Pan Am Flight 103 over Lockerbie, Scotland, in 1988, which resulted in the deaths of 270 people. The United Nations imposed sanctions on Libya as a result, isolating the country from the international community for many years. In 2003, Gaddafi made a strategic decision to abandon his pursuit of weapons of mass destruction and renounce terrorism. This move aimed to improve relations with Western powers and led to the lifting of sanctions and the reintegration of Libya into the global community. Gaddafi's decision, however, did not prevent tensions from resurfacing in the later years of his rule. In 2011, a wave of protests swept across the Arab world during the Arab Spring, demanding political reforms and an end to authoritarian regimes. Libya was not spared from this wave, and the country descended into a violent conflict between Gaddafi's forces and opposition groups. The international community intervened, with NATO providing air support to the rebels. In October 2011, Gaddafi was captured and killed by rebel forces in his hometown of Sirte, marking the end of his rule. Muammar Gaddafi's legacy is complex and contentious. While some Libyans remember him as a visionary leader who fought for the rights of his people and challenged Western imperialism, others view him as a dictator who suppressed dissent and perpetuated a cult of personality. His rule left Libya deeply divided and struggling with political instability in the years that followed his downfall.